Today I'm revealing my plans for sewing a chic spring wardrobe for myself. I find spring to be the hardest season to dress for because I want to wear light and springy clothing, but the weather's still all over the place. So I wanted to figure out how to keep things feeling springtimey, but also extremely practical, and only wear a set capsule wardrobe for the season. So let's see how I figured this out and what I'm going to sew. Okay, let's take a look at my spring projects. The look I'm going for this season is soft, flowing, and detailed. For my goal, I wrote down that I want to create some foundational pieces that I can wear for years and years to come. I'm really feeling lately like I just want to add things to my wardrobe that feel really special or that I'm just going to get a ton of use out of for many years. I've actually been feeling like my wardrobe is just way too full, and I'm not even wearing the things I really love because I just have way too much. So I've actually decided that I'm just going to have a limited capsule wardrobe this spring, and I'm only going to wear things in that limited range of pieces. I'm hoping that this will help me to really focus on the things I love to wear the most. That way I can feel comfortable and just enjoy getting creative with what I already have. I'll show you my idea for the entire capsule wardrobe later, but first I want to talk about the pieces that I'm going to be sewing. Here's the mini mood board I created for the projects I'm about to show you. Lately I've been focusing more and more on what I'm calling my signature pieces. Those are the things that I absolutely love to wear again and again. I actually sat down and made a Pinterest board of all of these pieces. They include things like dark denim, flowing soft dresses, detailed woven tops that have open necklines, really soft textured sweaters, scarves, and wrap coats. Then I created my mood board for this spring. I included a lot of those elements like soft textured knits and scarves and dark denim. And then I also included a lot of the colors that I love for spring. It also serves as a little bit of a vision board of just what I'm looking forward to this season. For example, I'm planning a trip to Savannah and Charleston this season, so I included some images from there. And then I just included some images that have flowers and light and just have this kind of fresh feeling of spring. I also included this photo of Ingrid Bergman, whose style is just really inspiring to me right now. I think she just had such a beautiful mix of that masculine and feminine shapes, and I just found it really inspiring right now. One thing I always find when I make a mood board like this and then edit it down is there's always something that's a little bit unexpected in it. It's usually something I hadn't really thought a lot about before, but I just notice it as I'm going through. In this case, I noticed a bit of this kind of pale, muddy yellow color showing up. I don't normally wear a lot of yellow, but now I'm kind of thinking about incorporating that into my capsule for spring. I actually remembered that I have this kind of light yellowish tan wool blazer that I got at a thrift store and that has just been hanging on my closet and I hardly ever wear, so I dug that out to add to my wardrobe. So this is kind of cool because I already feel like I'm finding new ways to use what I already have. Let's talk a little bit more about color. There's a lot of pink, ivory, camel, and pale yellow here. So I mixed those with my favorite neutrals, which are black and cream, and then I added a little navy blue. I also really like the way pink and red look together, and I knew I wanted to incorporate a lot of the red pieces that I made for winter, so I included some pink and red as statement colors. I also have these dark floral prints mixed in because these really lush dark florals are another signature for me. I'll talk about how I'm going to use all of these in my projects in a minute, but I'm just really excited about how they all look together. This palette is really inspiring to me. It's actually a lot more color than I usually include. My palettes are usually pretty limited, and this one has sort of a lot going on, and I think the prints really help bring it all together. By the way, I'm using the free Seamwork sewing planner to create this plan, which is part of the Design Your Wardrobe process that we teach. If you want a free download of the planner, I'll put a link to where you can get that below. Okay, let's get to the projects. My first project is the Seamwork Chelsea, which are these gorgeous 70s style jeans that have patch pockets. Now I've already made Chelsea before, but I made them before in a light blue corduroy. I adjusted the fit of the leg a bit so the flare works a little bit better for my leg shape. So if you want to see that, I did a whole video about that, so I'll link that below. So this time I want to make them in a classic dark denim. Since I've already made Chelsea once and I really liked the fit, I should be able to just dive right in without any additional adjustments. I just think I'll end up wearing these constantly year-round, so I'm really excited to make them. I wear dark denim with practically everything. I'm envisioning these with a little cardigan or a soft cashmere sweater and a silk scarf and maybe a trench coat on top. Just sort of a classic Parisian-inspired look that I just think is so perfect for spring. All right, so the fabric. The fabric is this crisp dark denim that just has a little bit of stretch that I picked up locally. One thing I'm trying to decide is whether to do the traditional yellow top stitching that you see on jeans or whether I want to do kind of a darker top stitching to make them look a little bit more dressy. Let me know what you think in the comments. My next project is the Seamwork Everly skirt, which is a short bias cut skirt. Another thing that I always feel good in is a bias cut. I just think the soft stretch and flow you get from cutting on the bias just works on me. It makes me feel slinky and comfortable at the same time. I tend to prefer clothes that kind of flow around my body right now rather than being really tight or structured, especially for dresses and skirts. And I also love mini skirts, and I cannot wait to wear them with bare legs again. Everly is a nice length because it's not super short, but it's still mini. It's actually designed for 2 layers of fabric, and I think it would look really pretty in a floral print for the underlayer and then a sheer chiffon for the outer layer. But I'm actually just going to stick with a single layer for mine. I love a mini skirt with a little cardigan or a sweater or a knit top. But again, I think they go with pretty much all my tops. I also always wear flats when I wear short skirts, so either flat boots when it's cold, or sandals or ballet flats when it's warmer. For fabric, I dug through my stash and I actually picked out this gorgeous rayon satin in this raspberry pink color that I absolutely love. I also found this lighter kind of shell pink silk that I also think would be really, really beautiful. And even though I love both of these colors so much, after I put together my capsule wardrobe, I realized that I probably needed something that was a little bit more versatile. So ultimately, I decided to stick with black silk charmeuse for this one. But I might come back to this fabric later for maybe a bonus make because I really think it would be perfect for this skirt. My next project is a vintage 1930s nightgown, which I'm going to make into a short dress instead. So I have a big collection of vintage sewing patterns. And given how much I love bias cuts and 1930s styles, I really wanted to revisit my collection and sew something vintage this season. I found this beautiful old Hollywood pattern, and it's actually a nightgown and bed jacket set, but I'm going to make it into a print dress. Again, I just love these flowing lines. And I love that the sleeves on this aren't too dramatic. Sometimes the puff sleeves on 1930s styles can read a little bit girly and a little bit youthful for my taste. I also really love that it has a back tie, which makes the fit a little bit adjustable. I'll likely wear this again with a little cardigan and ballet flats and a trench coat. Really, really easy. So for the fabric, I'm choosing between 2 really pretty prints. I've actually purchased both of them, but I haven't received them yet, so I'm going to decide once they arrive. The first is this really lush, dramatic floral from Mood. This is totally my style, and I just love how vibrant it is. I also like that it has a little bit of that yellow color that I was talking about. The other one is from Remy Fabrics, and it's a rayon challis in the scatter print that looks really vintage to me. They both look really, really lovely, so let me know which one you like best in the comments and help me decide. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that I decided to go with a darker floral print for this dress because I have some lighter floral dresses, and I've noticed that I really only wear them a few months out of the year. I figured this way I can easily layer these with tights and sweaters, and I'll just get more wear out of it throughout the whole year. My next project is the Seamwork Farah, which is a gorgeous ballet wrap top. I actually got the idea to make this when I was looking at our own sample here one day, and I just remembered how pretty it is. I'm just kind of obsessed with wrap shapes right now after realizing how much I love the wrap coats that I own. Then I found a beautiful knit in my stash and I was sold. I think this top would look amazing with dark denim or even worn over a printed dress. What's great about this piece is that it can be worn as an extra layer or it can be worn just on its own as a top. The fabric I found in my stash for this is this soft, fuzzy sweater knit in this beautiful ivory color. I love that it's not a bright white, but more of a creamy white, which I think is a little bit more kind to my skin tone. The texture is so nice and fuzzy, it's almost like cashmere. My next project is the Seamwork Madhu, which is a cropped raglan top, and it has an elasticized neckline and cuffs and hem. I've made Madhu before by transforming it into a dress, but I've actually never made it as a top. I really love how easy it is to sew, which is good because I'm going to complicate things a wee bit with this one. I've been dying to try out some smocking techniques, so I'm going to give it a shot with this pattern. I'm brand new to smocking, so I bought this book which has really clear instructions. This book's called Rocking Smocking, and it has so many cute designs in it. I'm planning to add smock details to the neckline, so I'll probably need to eliminate the elastic there. I might add some smock details to the cuffs as well, but I'll leave the elastic at the waist. I think Madhu will look great with jeans, trousers, or a skirt. Since it's cropped, I'd want to wear it with something high-waisted. What I love about a top like this is that it can accentuate your waist a little without needing to tuck it in, which I do for most shirts. I'm going to go with a plain white linen for this one, which I also had in my stash. I actually got this at the Seamwork fabric swap that we had here in Portland. I made sure that the linen I chose is nice and light so it has an airy feel to it. For the smocking embroidery, I'm thinking of going with either red work or maybe pink. I think this would also look amazing in a small gingham check or a micro stripe, but I'm going to go with what I have right now, which is this linen. I also wanted to show you my capsule wardrobe, which has things from my existing closet as well. So the idea behind this capsule wardrobe is I wanted to put together a collection of pieces from my wardrobe and then also things that I'm making that can be worn together, and I'm planning to only wear those things for at least 1 month. The main reason I want to do this is just to force myself to be creative with what I already have instead of always thinking about what I should be acquiring. It just gives me a way to slow down and enjoy the process of creating outfits out of what's already around me. To me, it just seems like a really good way to experiment with personal style and really figure out what you enjoy wearing the most. So to create this capsule wardrobe, I just pulled pictures from the internet, so a lot of these are just stand-ins for things that I already own or things that I've made in the past. But it gives me an idea of what the pieces are that are in my wardrobe. So here's what I'm going with. I chose 4 dresses, including the dress I talked about today, that 1930s print dress, and then a little wrap dress that I already own, the red ash dress that I made recently, last year, and the Laura Ashley dress, which I made, and I also have a video on that, so if you want to check that out, I'll link that below too. And then I included 5 tops. One is just a printed red and white striped top that I have. The next is the Madhu, the one I talked about with the smocking that I'm gonna add. Then another top that I already own that has a ruffle and has longer sleeves. The Baker top, which I also have a video on, and it has all these pretty vintage details that I added, so I'll add a link to that video as well. And then the red sage top, which I made for my winter wardrobe plan, so I'll link to that too. Then 4 sweaters, including the Farah wrap top that I talked about today, a little yellow cashmere sweater that I have, a red cardigan that I have, and this pepper sweater, which I made for my winter wardrobe. I have 5 bottoms, including the Chelsea jeans that I talked about earlier that I'm making for this season. I have a pair of white trousers that are already in my wardrobe, a white corduroy mini skirt, that's the ginger mini skirt that I made, I think last year or the year before, so I'll link to that as well. The black Everly mini skirt that I just talked about, and then a little denim mini skirt that I have. For outerwear, I have 3 pieces. I have a classic trench coat that's been in my wardrobe forever, a black blazer in wool that I thrifted recently, and that yellowish tan blazer that I talked about digging out of my closet earlier. I'm thinking about adding a denim jacket that I have as well, but I'll just decide as I'm kind of experimenting with this wardrobe. And finally, shoes and accessories. So I'm not really limiting myself on accessories, but I do like to wear a lot of silk scarves, and I also included a pair of my favorite sunglasses. For shoes, I chose a classic pair of black belly flats from my closet, a pair of cap toe slingback heels that I already have, and I also included this pair of leopard print flats for just a little bit of pizzazz. One really cool thing I got out of this process is that I was able to carry over a lot of what I'd made from my winter capsule into my spring capsule. To see more about what I made this winter, check out this video next where I go through every project I planned for my winter wardrobe.